Hi guys, what's up and welcome back to my channel. I had the pleasure of seeing Promising Young Woman yesterday at the movie theater and I am so excited to be talking about it. So today I'm going to be doing a non-spoiler review of Promising Young Woman. Nothing in Cassie's life is what it appears to be. She's wickedly smart, cunning, and she's living a secret double life by night. Now an unexpected encounter is about to give Cassie a chance to right the wrongs from the past. This movie would have easily been in my top 10 of the year if I had seen it before I made that video and before the year ended, so consider it just being on the list now. I don't know which one I would take out, but it would for sure be like in the upper half of my top 10 list because it was everything. It was so amazing, and I have to start by praising the directing and the writing of this movie. Fennell does an incredible job at directing and writing this, and this is actually her first directorial debut. I did not know that at all. Being her first directorial debut, she did an incredible job, and I definitely want to see more of her writing and directing made because she did such an amazing job in this movie. And what I loved about the script so much was that it felt realistic, and this movie obviously depicts sexual assault, and I thought her script just made everything feel realistic, and it was from a woman's perspective, which I really just enjoyed, that it was written by a woman, directed by a woman. You could tell that there's some authenticity in the script, and I just really loved that. And the cinematography was spectacular. There were a lot of bright colors in a lot of scenes, and then there's some other really aesthetically pleasing shots where there's pastel colors, and it's just a very pretty color palette. It's just a very like colorful and bright movie, which is ironic, you could say, because it is talking about a very dark topic. After giving it more thought about the color palette, I really especially enjoyed that it was so bright and colorful, and like I just said, it is ironic given the topic that the movie discusses. I thought it was a perfect choice of a color scheme because it shows how all of these women's problems and sexual assault in general is usually covered up by something else, and you see that a lot with different events in the movie. I thought it was a really interesting choice for them to make the movie seem so bright, and it just goes to show that all of these terrible things that women go through and just a lot of people go through with assault is not taken seriously and is not taken with the severity that it should be taken in. But there are so many shots in this movie where I could just screenshot them and they could be my lock screen on my phone because they're so pretty, and especially in the coffee shop because our protagonist does work at a coffee shop. And also there's a lot of shots where our character is like right at the center that's very eye-catching, and she looks directly at the camera in certain scenes to kind of get your attention, and it works perfectly in the scenes that it's used. And I also need to talk about the editing and the sound design and the soundtrack because wow, so good. I loved the editing of this movie. There's a lot of times where they put text and numbers on top of the screen and it works perfectly, and also just the soundtrack of this movie is amazing. They use a lot of really awesome songs like Toxic on the violin. Anthony Willis does the music, and he did an exceptional job in this because the music is so amazing. The score is beautiful. It's very dramatic when it needs to be. It's very simple when it needs to be. It's just perfect, and I hope it gets some recognition at the Academy Awards. I just really do hope that this movie gets recognition at the Academy Awards, and I think it could even go up to being nominated for Best Picture and even Best Director and Best Screenplay because it really was amazing. Something else that I really liked about this movie are the characters, and the characters in this movie, a lot of them are douchebags because she's dealing with these people that have done terrible things to women all of the time. And I just wanted to say that something that I enjoyed about this movie was that these characters weren't just there to be characters, but it was there to make us learn about the story as well as advance the plot. Because there are a bunch of characters in this movie, we mostly just focus on Cassandra and another character, Ryan. Like, they're mostly the ones that are on screen all the time. Everybody that she meets and everybody that she talks to, it serves a story or purpose and it has something to say. And for that reason, I enjoyed that there were many other characters, and even though we didn't get to know that much about them other than the things that they did in their past, I still felt that the movie did a really good job at just placing them there to advance the plot and just not there to be like, hey look, that's another person that's a douchebag, but it legitimately made the plot go on. You got to learn about Cassandra a lot with her parents because of just the environment and the awkwardness, and just you see it if you see the movie, like the directing of the shots in those specific scenes. And something that I also really enjoyed about this movie was that we never really got flashbacks to talk about what happened in the past. You know, a lot of movies that deal with characters trying to overcome something and trying to deal with something that happened in the past, movies use flashbacks to kind of fill in those gaps and pieces and just show it to us rather than tell us. And this movie also doesn't really straight up tell you what happened to her past. From the get-go, you understand that she's gone through something and people around her have gone through something, and this is when the characters come in that are brought in, because you get to learn about the past through these characters in a way that they're not just telling it to you straight out. Like, never in this story did they just say from beginning to end what happened that caused Cassandra to be in the headspace that she is. You just understand it as the movie goes on, and you learn to feel bad for the things that happened to her. And I just thought they did that excellently, because I don't think the movie would have worked that well if we would have gotten flashbacks and if they would have explained everything to you, because in a way it lets the audience piece it together in their head. And also, there was a scene where something was shown, we didn't get to see it as the audience, it was Cassandra that saw it, and I just really enjoyed everything that they did with the aspect of the past, because I still understood everything Cassandra was going for, and I still was rooting for her the whole time. And I forgot to talk about Cassandra as a character, because she's fantastic in this movie. She is living kind of a double life. You know, she's living her regular life, and then she's living the life that she lives at night, where she's tricking these men into thinking she's drunk, but then she's actually sober and she catches them in the act before they're going to sexually assault her. Carey Mulligan is such a good actress, and I hope she gets nominated for Best Actress. It's so good. She just does an incredible job at portraying who her character is. I also really like Burnham. He's really good in his role as well, and he plays Ryan, a character that's mostly with Cassandra the entire time. And something that I actually really enjoy about this movie is that it's pretty funny. Like, there were a lot of moments where I laughed out loud, as well as other people. There were like 2 other people in the back of the theater, and they laughed out loud so many times, and that's something that I enjoy about this movie, because it's talking about a topic that's an awful reality that a lot of women face, and to make a movie still be funny in a way is just amazing to me. And that's where, again, I have to praise the script, because there were so many moments, especially with Ryan's character, where I was just laughing. And now I'm going to talk about the ending, and I'm not going to spoil it because this is a non-spoiler review. And my only negative with the movie is the ending, but it's not the ending, because the way the movie ends, like those last, I think, 5 to 10 minutes are amazing, and I just had my jaw drop. But something that happens right before that, and I can't say it, but if you've seen the movie, I'm pretty sure you guys know what I'm trying to say. Something that happens there, I was just shocked that they did that. I was like, why? But then the ending happened, and I smiled, and I just enjoyed the entire movie. But there's just a certain scene that I'm just kind of having conflicting thoughts whether I do end up liking what they did and what they don't. It's just, I can't even really say much, but I am having conflicting thoughts whether I like it or not. So that's honestly my only negative with the movie. I can't go too much in depth with that, because then I'll be spoiling the movie. But I am curious, if you guys have seen the movie, what you thought about the ending. Let me know down below, because I really want to know what you guys think. I just still really love this movie. It was very energetic. The tone of this movie was perfect, and it knew its style, it knew its vibe, and for that reason alone, I just loved it very much. And the performance of Carey Mulligan alone is just worth watching this movie. I'm going to be giving this movie its very well deserved A. Thank you guys so much for watching, and as always, if you have seen Promising Young Woman, let me know down below what you think about it. If you liked it, if you didn't like it, if you thought it was a little too much, or if you thought it was just right. Just let me know everything that you think about this movie. And if you haven't seen the movie, are you going to end up watching it, or is this one that you might skip? And that's it for me today, guys. I'll make sure to see you guys next time. A lot of more reviews and videos to come. Bye, guys.